Vampires are humanoid creatures that suck blood or life essence of the living and are usually the undead themselves. With that in mind, here are 5 vampires from around the world. Number 5. Paalam Malaysia. A polong is said to be a man-made creature created from the blood of a murdered person. The blood would be put into a bottle, and by using incantations, magic spells, and rituals, for about 1 or 2 weeks, it would appear. It is not entirely known what the creature in the bottle would look like. Some say a miniature girl would appear in the bottle, some say something very hideous would appear. Only the ones that possess them would know. Anyways, when the time comes, weird sounds could be heard from inside the bottle. This means it's ready. Thus it's time to feed it. The one who made it, or the one who wants to make a deal with it, should make a cut on their finger, insert it into the bottle, and allow the polong to suck on the blood. This would seal their master-slave relationship. The polong needs to be fed like that daily, or it would start rebelling and get out of hand, attacking anyone it wants, even the owner. So, why would anyone want to make this creature? It is because the owner could use the creature to kill by slowly making their victims sick, or by possessing the victims, slowly making them crazy. The victims usually have unexplainable bruises on their body. They could also be used for scamming. Basically make someone get possessed by the polong and then say that he or she could help, but of course for a fee. The polong are said to have a weakness to black pepper, and you need an actual Muslim wise man who knows how to deal with the supernatural to exorcise it. If left untreated, only death awaits the victims. Number 4. Yaramayahu, Australia. This creature is an aboriginal vampire. They are depicted as 4 feet tall, has red skin, with a large head and mouth. Imagine a frog mouth, but on a humanoid creature. They also have octopus suckers on their fingers and toes. Also, they have no teeth. But how do they suck blood if they have no teeth, you ask? Well, it's how they attack. Like most vampires, they only attack at night, and is pretty weak from sunlight. They would wait and hide in the branches of some trees, usually fig trees, and would only attack whoever walks underneath it. It would then drop on their unsuspecting victims, use their suckers to grab hold of them, and uses their suckers to drain the blood from the victim until the brink of death. They would then proceed in swallowing the body whole, but later regurgitates them back out alive and pretty much unharmed. Of course, with the exception of being very weak for the lack of blood, and apparently would become slightly shorter than what they were before. Those that have been attacked by the Yaramayahu has a tendency to be attacked again, and with repeated attacks, the victims would gradually become shorter and shorter, redder and redder, until they themselves becomes a Yaramayahu. Number 3. Darugdui, Ireland. The Darugdui is another reanimated corpse that seeks life force and blood. Not to be confused with the Jiang Shi, which has the same MO, but are different because the Jiang Shi are fairies, while the Darugdui are the undead. The story of the Darugdui comes from a woman whose name has long been lost through time. She was a beautiful woman, and being a beautiful woman, especially at the old times, means man would be lustful towards her, and she wouldn't have much right to protest. So, the woman got an arranged marriage by her father to a man that she does not love, not to mention that the man was also years older than herself. She was fully against this marriage as she had someone else that she loved, but she was still forced to marry the man because of the dowry that the family would receive from the marriage, which were wealth and some land. Apparently, the man she married was horrible. He was very conceited, very crude in his ways, that he locked her away in the dark for himself. She was probably not cooperative as well, thus that must have got them into the whole locked away situation. It was said that he even abused her both mentally and physically. Brutal. Anyways, either she died because of a broken heart or committed suicide because she realized there was no one that would save her. Thus, she died in anger, sorrow, and vengeance. After exactly a year after her death, she came back from the dead to exact her revenge. Let's just say she did not rest in peace. She first went to see her family but got angry seeing them happy and had no remorse over her death. So she attacked her father when he was asleep and then sucked the life breath out of him until he died. Then she went to her husband's place. Again, she got angry when she saw that the man has a new wife now, but they were more happy and loving. So by the time the couple were engaging in their marital exploit, she attacked them ferociously. That blood spilled. That was when she first tasted blood, and that was when she craved for more. From then on, she used her beauty to lure lustful men, tricking them to go into secluded places and would then suck their blood and life force out. Why just men, you ask? Well, probably because of her hatred from past men that have wronged her. Number 2. Jiang Shi, China. According to Chinese folklore, the Jiang Shi are reanimated corpses that seeks the life force of living creatures at night. They would return back to their coffin or hide in dark secluded places like a cave when morning comes. They suck the life force out of people to sustain themselves and to become more powerful. The Jiang Shi are said to be very stiff and can't seem to bend their limbs and body, probably because of rigor mortis, and they move by hopping. You could probably outrun them. But the longer the Jiang Shi has been around and the more life force it has taken, it would obtain the ability to fly and later even transform into a wolf. They usually have their hands outstretched like some of those old zombie illustrations you've seen. Depending on how long they have been deceased for, they would either look almost human or rotting, like nothing you've ever seen before. When a corpse starts to become a Jiang Shi, it would develop claw-like fingernails and an extremely long tongue. Also, what I've seen from TV and movies, the Jiang Shi are always depicted wearing a hat and a coat-like robe, just like what the officials in the Qing dynasty would wear. They also have a talisman on their head which immobilizes them, so take care not to remove any talismans that's on any corpses. When you're running away from the Jiang Shi, keep in mind that they cannot cross running water, so get ready to cross a small river. You could also try to keep it occupied until the sun rises. But that's really pushing your luck because only weak ones are weak to sunlight. Also note that they sense people through your breathing, or should I say through your qi, as they are pretty blind. So holding your breath would make you disappear to them. But the known way to get rid of them is to go to a Taoist priest for help, and then cremate the body. Number 1. Strega, Poland. There's a few vampires from Europe with almost the same name. For example, there's Strega from Albania, Strega from Poland, Strigoi from Romania, and more around Europe, especially in the Slavic states. Different places have different lores of these vampires. For this video, I'll be talking about the Strega from Poland. The Strega are somewhat humans, at least they were born from human parents. But they have extra body parts, 2 hearts, 2 sets of teeth, and apparently 2 souls. Usually, they are born as female, but there are also male ones around. The Strega doesn't seem to cause any harm as long as they are alive, but once they die, one of its soul would go to the afterlife and the other would remain, reviving the deceased body and turn into a bloodthirsty demon. The Strega would come out to feed at night and goes back to hiding when dawn comes. They could drink the blood or eat the internal organs of any living beings, so they might not even attack humans. But if they find lonely travelers in the woods at night, they won't pass up the opportunity to strike. It is believed that the Strega could shapeshift into flying animals such as an owl or a moth-like creature. This was probably what influenced Dracula to be able to transform into a bat. Now, to prevent the Strega from coming back to life, you either bury its head separately from the rest of its body, or burying the Strega face down with a sickle around its head and with its hands tied behind its back. It is also believed that as long as the Strega is baptized, the other soul would also be cleansed, thus it won't turn into a blood-seeking creature when it dies. But what do you do to a Strega that is fully revived? 1. Hope a vampire hunter is nearby, or 2. Try to immobilize it as best as you can, like driving a stake into its heart or decapitating its head, or hope it gets high on poppy seeds, then bury it. Bury it and hope that it can't go out anymore. Yeah, you guessed it. I can't seem to find a specific thing that they are weak to, so good luck.